Hello, my lovelies, and welcome. My name is Aamal Mahmoud, and I am joined here by the host, Adam Ibrahim.
I love it. She's took over. I should be introducing her, but we just did it the other way today. But this is what I love about now. Straight to the point.
Straight to the point.
We know the drill.
Straight to the point.
We are interviewing people who have exodus where they are to check the motherland. The misconceptions they've had, and we're going to discuss the challenges they came across, and hopefully to see after they came here, what was their thought afterwards. And today I'm very lucky, I'm joined by Aamal, and she's going to introduce herself, so let's get right into it. Aamal, please tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Aamal, and I moved here from the UK.
Okay.
And last time when I came here on holiday, I couldn't find any salons to go to that had higher standards, firstly. Secondly, there was some of the treatments that I had brought here, such as laser hair removal, the hydrofacial. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. The hydrofacial and stuff like that, that wasn't available in this country. So I thought these are the kind of things that I can provide. And obviously I'm giving them a higher standard as well in this country. That's what I'm trying to do, basically.
So we'll just take a step back, just to kind of like, is this something that you studied back in the UK?
Yes.
Perfect. This is something that, excellent. And just what was one of the things that made you want to come to Africa, in Somalia in general?
I came here on holiday. That's how it started. I came here on holiday.
I think everybody starts off as a holiday, right?
Huh? Wallahi, trust me. I came here on holiday, and to be honest with you, wallahi, the media made it out to be like this really scary place. But
pirates.
Oh my God, there's nothing that's going on. It's this, it's so safe. It's great. And you know what? For some reason, the 24 hours that you have in the UK and the 24 hours that you have here are completely different.
Have you noticed that?
100%. 100%. In the UK, it'd be like work, home, work, home, work, home. Whilst here, it's like, okay, I finished work. Shall I go see my friends? Shall I, hang out with Adam? There's so many things that you can do. Whilst in the UK, you just don't have the time. People aren't as close together. No. Hamad is so small that everyone is kind of 10 minutes away from each other. Okay. So it makes perfect sense. And to answer your other question as well is, I've been doing this for 9 years. I went from school into beauty, studied it, worked in the field, and that's what I've always done.
Oh, that's actually great. So when you first came here and you thought about starting, what were the challenges that you initially came across?
The main challenge was, as a woman coming to Somalia and starting a business, a lot of the men in this country, they don't really think that it's something that a woman can do. So that was the number one problem that I was facing, where it would be like, who's here? Who's the man that's gonna sign the paper? And I'd be like, it's my business. I'm the one that's doing this. What do you mean a man signing the paper? Do you know what I mean? So it was those kind of challenges, and the other big problem that I had was finding it.
How did you overcome that?
In Somalia, there's a simple rule. You just have to argue back. If someone argues, you just have to argue and just get your point across. And that's what I was doing. It was just a simple thing of like, no, I'm signing it. So you can't sign it. No, I'm signing it.
You have to get quick.
You have to. And you have to just, be in there,
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, it's not been bad, to be honest with you. I kind of got on with it, really.
Okay. So now that you come across it, so what do you see yourself in Somalia is going to be in the next 5 years? Where do you see that?
I really, really, really want to change the beauty standards of the country. That's my number one thing. Starting off with the skin bleaching. That's a problem that a lot of other women.
That's all over Africa.
Yeah. And do you know what? It's not just Africa, it's like all third world countries. That's where they do the skin bleaching and everything, So that's the number one thing that I do want to tackle. And I've met a couple of women that are working with that as well, and they're trying to stop that from continuing. And I'm just trying to educate girls on it as well, because obviously in the UK there isn't a large bleaching culture. So even though I've got 9 years experience when it comes to bleaching, it's like brand new territory. Wow. So I had that, alhamdulillah, I've hit my 6-month mark with my business, and I have worked with a couple of women, and alhamdulillah, I'm very happy to say that a few of them have stopped the bleaching completely, and they have actually, stuck to the regime that I kind of put them on. And alhamdulillah, they've stopped with the skin bleaching and everything, which is a great thing for me. Like when the first person told me, oh, Aamal, I've stopped, I swear to God, I was crying. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened.
I want to touch up on a question that came from this. The bleaching.
Yes.
I know in China, in Asian countries, and the reason why they bleach is if they're not light skinned, then they're considered peasants for being outdoors doing the labor work. How did skin bleaching come to Africa? Like how does the beauty of lightning and all that, like when did it come and how did it go about? That's what I'm really curious about.
I don't know where it started. That's my honest opinion. I don't know where it started, but I know how it's continuing like from generations. It's continuing because the mother does it, the grandma does it, the aunt does it, the neighbor lady does it. You know, all the women in your circle are doing it. Everyone that you go and see, they're like, oh yeah, skin bleaching, normal. You go to the shop and you're like, oh yeah, I've got a little bit of pigmentation or something. First thing they give you is the skin bleaching. So it's something that is widely marketed in this country.
Is that what men like light skin? Is that what they say?
Do you know what? I've spoken to a couple of men and they don't care for the skin lightening. They don't care if a woman is light skin or dark skin. You know, I've met what about you? You're a man.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like
there's guys that are like really dark. I'm like, I don't want to have if I'm dark, I want my
but then the maths doesn't really add up there because the child is still going to turn out dark even if the woman bleaches herself.
Correct.
Black and black do kind of make black. That's the reality of it. Yeah. But they just see it as like, oh yeah, this woman is white on the outside, hopefully she'll produce light-skinned children. But that's not how things work, Yeah. So I don't think they think that far ahead when it comes to the skin bleaching. But it's definitely something that is embedded in them from when they're a little girl, And nowadays as well, there's guys that are starting to do it as well. So it's so it's really just something that is in this country. Well, in a lot of third world countries.
Do you reckon the campaign is working to stop the skin bleaching? Is it working?
I don't know. But my approach to it, I don't know if the campaign is working. However, my approach to it is you can't just tell someone that's bad for you. That's bad. You shouldn't do that. If you don't tell the person, okay, this is the damage that you're doing. This is how it's going to affect you in 10 years. Do you know what I mean? Then at least the person might be like, oh, I might need to be a little bit more cautious. Yeah. Whilst if you just tell them, oh, bad, you're not allowed to do that, It's like telling a child off. They don't know what they did. Correct. You have to kind of explain it to them, like, this is what you're doing. This is how it's affecting you, So that they understand, like, okay, cool, this is not good for me. And then on top of that, it's another thing as well to kind of teach them, being black is beautiful. Being dark skin is lovely. A lot of people think I'm crazy. A lot of the local women that I get in my place, they're like, oh, you've got a nice color. I'm like, I know. I was like, I've gone quite dark being in Somalia. I'm like so proud of the color that I have gained being here. And I'm like, I'm very happy with it. And they're like, oh, this isn't your normal color. I'm like, no, this is my normal color now, Yeah. You don't need to know what my normal color is. This is my color now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a bit different, but I'm trying to teach them. Yeah, I'm trying to change them and be like, being black is actually beautiful. Like, we come from the West where, it's normal to be, like a lot of the white people in the West, they go to tanning salons, they go to spray tan, they do all these things to kind of make themselves darker. And then over here, it's like the other way around. They're making themselves lighter,
That's actually so true. It's weird how everything contradicts.
Yeah.
But, okay, so this is actually great. So now, in terms of what you want to give advice to, the person that's watching out there right now, the average Joe, the girl, the guy, the elderly, it's never too late to take part of the movement, which is coming back to the motherland and actually doing something. We spoke last week to our friend Yusuf, who actually moved from Uganda and who is actually taking over Somalia in marketing and photography and opening up an agency. Today, this week, we have a friend from UK who's actually started a beauty clinic. And what is the advice, or you would send a message out to them? What would it be? Okay.
Hold on. Okay. My number one advice is just do it. Literally just do it. I didn't really think it through too much. And that's just my way of doing anything in life. I kind of just do it. But the truth of the matter is, this is a country that is 20 years behind. Yeah. There's a lot of things that aren't available in this country, There's so many things that I'm used to that I could get, in the UK without even trying hard, whilst it's not even available here. Yeah. A little thing like sushi, you can't get sushi here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's the little things that are just not here yet. So it's
So many
honestly
opportunities to take advantage of.
too many opportunities, too many. So you just have to think of something. My advice is come here, see what's around, spend a bit of time here, and then go back and be like, okay, cool, this is what I can add to the country. This is what I need to do. Do your research, buy the products or whatever you're planning to do, plan it, and then come here. Do it. There's no need to think about it because, wallahi, I'm pretty sure the first person that brought sushi to the UK was like, oh, it's probably not going to work out. Now it's making so much money. It's like one of the most popular dishes in the UK. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's just, you just have to find something that's not here yet. And there's a lot of them around.
So you have to basically just do it.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
for a holiday. I think that's how everybody starts, right?
100%.
And also use it as a market research to kind of see what's needed and what can be added. And I think that's the formula, isn't it?
100%.
That is the formula.
Huh.
It's not rocket science.
No.
It's actually basically saying what's readily available around you. And when you come here, that's not available for you. So you'll be like, and you can just choose. And that'll be a whole ample of things.
So many options. Should we pack? Let's pack.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, well,
So what would you tell the person that's saying, oh, okay, you know what, maybe it was easy for you to move here because and start a business because maybe you had backing or you had family things.
what backing? What family things?
Exactly. And this is what it is.
No, I literally hopped onto the flight. There's not a single family. I have family here, but there's no one in that has an actual business that I could have gone to and been like, oh, you know, what is your advice? Where can I go and ask, you know, for this information? Where do I did, this is one of the most embarrassing things, by the way. I was out looking for a property for 2 months. And then one of the properties that I found, the guy was like, I need a business registration form. It was the biggest shock of life. Cause I was like, here, we're in a country where 25 people will get on a charge together.
Yeah.
You know, people are burning their qashin outside of their house. Like, you know, there's no, you know, what's that thing called? Recycling? There's none of that. People just burn their qashin. Like, they literally burn their rubbish outside of their house. There's cows and goats and sheep on the streets. But they want me to have a business registration. It was the biggest shock of life. I really was not expecting it. Wallahi. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
So, what was the question? How did I even get there?
But you were talking about the people that are thinking.
So honestly, I came here not knowing anything, right? Not knowing anything, going into it so blindly with my eyes shut and just being like, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do, these are the steps that I'm going to take. And I literally, that's why it took me 5 months to open up my business. 5 months, you know?
Oh, okay.
5 months finding the property, finding the equipment, finding everything. And I wanted my furniture and anything that I could get locally sourced, I would get it locally instead of ordering everything from outside. Because I was like, I want to invest in my country as well. Do you know what I mean? So it was definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
But it would be easier. Well, it would have been a lot easier if I did have, you know, families here that are, you know, have set up businesses and are already running, and you know, life would be a lot easier than, you know, having to figure everything out yourself.
So basically all the data's out there that thinking that you had capital and you've had family backing, you just proved to them that you didn't, and you just showed them that it actually took you 5 months.
Yeah, it took longer than it would have had.
You know? And this is something that, and I'm actually really excited because, you know, one, that you're a woman and, you know, you're doing this all on your own. And for those out there watching and thinking, oh, I really can't, you know, do this alone in Africa, there you go. You have a role model.
Oh, role
And for that, I want to leave it on that note. Thank my guest Aamal for coming today.
Yeah, thank you
for
for having
shedding
me.
light in the beauty industry. And hopefully see you guys next week. Take care.
Perfect.